Way by Allison. Good win in the air by Basham. It's kept in just by George Baldock. And that's a foul on Wijnaldum. Free kick Liverpool.
And they won't worry about that, Sheffield United. They are going to be rough, tough and aggressive. They're going to stick their foot. They're going to push people over. They're going to press when they need to. They're going to work really hard and make it difficult for Liverpool.
Ball forward towards Salah into the penalty area. Mo Salah. He's not going to let him go easy there. And Stevens following up for Liverpool. There's Diogo Jota. Now Henderson. Hooks the ball in towards that penalty area. It'll run away to the left-hand side, and Robertson, who keeps it in, the Scottish international, biding his time before making a decision. It goes all the way back to Gomez.
And what they're doing really well is they're hitting that long ball down the channel. And both Salah and Mane are making runs between, Ampadu and Egan or Basham and Egan. That little gap over the wide centre-half's head.
Foul by Fabinho. I mean, it was rash on Ollie McBurney. I think if that's inside, Paul, that's a penalty.
If it's inside, it's a penalty. I think he's giving it as a free kick on the edge of the box.
My first instinct was it no.
Oh, it's just outside. Does he get the ball, though?
Yeah, it looks the second time around.
But it's a tackle from behind, is it?
It is.
It's a mistake from him.
And I think the fact is his boot ends up on the boot of McBurney.
Yeah.
And that's why McBurney's gone down. But it was an error by Fabinho.
Yeah, and of course McBurney obliges and falls over.
Yeah, which he is. Well, I think they're having a check on this one for a penalty. I think we've agreed it's just slightly outside, isn't it? Mind you, we never know with VAR.
No, you have no clue, and that's the worrying thing. It's just outside. It looks like it's just on the line, but on the line isn't in. I don't know. I've got no clue. I've got to be honest. That looks outside.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's got what 20% of his boot is on the line. The rest of it is outside.
Yeah, the caption we're seeing, it looks outside.
Yeah, the ball is outside the box as well. That would be a very harsh penalty against Liverpool, given that it was a foul, but it would be a very harsh penalty.
But you see,
I think he's given the penalty, isn't he?
I think he has given a penalty.
Well,
what do we know?
VAR.
I'm going to have to rub my eyes.
ever ceases to amaze us.
No, I'm stunned at that. Again, it must be on the line. On the line is in then.
Well, yeah, you've got to look at where it was the foul on the player. We're not looking at the ball, we're looking at the player. And I said 20% of his boot was on the line.
That's going to be the problem for Fabinho. He's a midfielder that makes tackles. At centre-half, sometimes you're not supposed to.
12 minutes gone at Anfield, and we could be in for an upset here. Sheffield United penalty, thanks to another contentious decision from VAR. Sander Berg is the player that's going to take this spot kick. Complete silence at Anfield. Sheffield United penalty, and he sends a goalkeeper Alisson the wrong way, and Sheffield United lead in the opening 12 minutes. A controversial decision made by VAR, a penalty given when it looked like a free kick outside the box, but in the end it was a foul by Fabinho, who made a mistake in the first instance. It was a foul on McBurney, and from the spot a very good penalty by Sander Berg.
It's a good penalty. The one thing I definitely can say is it was a foul. Where it was, I clearly don't know. I mean, I wear glasses and I'm still not sure. It looked outside to me, but I mean, he'll feel fine, Chris Wilder, because they've been on the receiving end of some woeful decisions, as we see it again. And for me, it's still outside the box. I see it again. It looks outside. I'm baffled. And then we see it for the umpteenth time. It still looks like McBurney is not in the box. He falls in the box. He's not. Oh, God. I'm stunned at that. I really am.
And we won't get any comment to say why that has been given. That's the most annoying thing. If they turn around and say, by the letter of the law, if the foul takes place on the line, it's inside the penalty area, by the letter of the law, then we'd understand it. But they don't come forward and defend themselves. That's what makes VAR so frustrating.
Do you know what? It isn't even defending themselves. It's just explaining. We have a right. You have a right to. You need to explain when you make a decision like that, because what you're asking me not to do is trust my eyes. My eyes tell me that that's outside the box. That's what it looks like. So you need to explain to me why you've given that as a penalty.
Last week, VAR was taken off of Liverpool's Christmas list. I don't think they're going to get a Valentine's card next year either now. VAR, certainly not the friend
I tell you
of
what, it's
Liverpool.
Guy Fawkes night coming up. I know what they might get.
Yeah. But that's 2 in 2 weeks for Liverpool, and you have to feel a little bit sorry for them.
It is. 2 pens in 2 weeks for Sheffield United as well.
Yeah. Of course, Billy Sharp scored last week. He's on the bench for Sheffield United today. But very good penalty that from Sander Berg.
Yeah, under pressure too. But, I mean, Liverpool were playing well, so, you know, it's going to be important for them not to change. But yet again, they're conceding goals at home.
Well, consider the free kick here, Basham, and a foul on Firmino. From a neutral point of view, Paul, that goal has made this game very interesting.
It really has, because Sheffield United have something to hang on to. Liverpool have a point to prove now, because for me, again, they've shown that they're fallible. They do concede goals. Sheffield United now know that they can create chances that will hurt Liverpool. So Liverpool got to make these kind of things count now.
Mike Dean, the referee, making sure that the shirts, the green shirts of Sheffield United, in their third strip today. It's dark green shirts and a goal. Made this game very interesting.
It really has, because Sheffield United have something to hang on to. Liverpool have a point to prove now.
It was a good delivery as well from Robertson.
They're
testing Sheffield United, who stood up well.
Sheffield United now know that they can create chances that will hurt
left-hand side for Sheffield United.
Make these kind of things count.
Fabinho, referee. Well, if you look back at that free kick, it's the green shirts of Sheffield United. Come back to is it's much the free kick, but the dark green shirts, it was poor defending by Fabinho, wasn't it?
It really has. And unfortunately, that is going to happen sometimes, because he's a midfielder playing centre half. And the centre half will say, you just don't get the correct contact on it. And then his desire, because he's a ball winner in midfield, his desire then is to go and make a tackle. Because normally, that's 10, 15 yards further forward. But now you're at centre-half, you have to really think about it. You've got to get it right as well.
Brewster, he's been brought down. Referee says play on. Helped on by Sander Berg, the goal scorer from the penalty spot. Cross from Sam Baldock, deflected away. And then Wijnaldum helps it up towards the halfway line. But Sheffield United will field that with John Egan, who turned 28 last Tuesday. He started 28 of the last 30 in the Premier League. He would have started them all had he not been suspended for 2 of them. This time Wijnaldum plays for safety up onto the chest of Jota. He takes the return from Trent Alexander-Arnold. Now Jota again. Good interchange between him and Fabinho. He's fouled, and referee Mike Dean brings that back for a free kick to Liverpool in a central position.
Strange one. I'd be complaining if I was Sheffield United. He gave the foul after the ball was given away. The foul happened after he passed it, not necessarily as he was passing it. Because, he's under a bit of pressure, and he's holding shirts as well. Then he plays it and he's fouled. But there you go. I mean, it's Liverpool, just need to continue playing because they are good enough, without a doubt, to create chances, and they've got the three up front who will put them away.
So a free kick for Liverpool. It's midway inside the Sheffield United half, but Trent Alexander-Arnold is standing over it. The two wing-backs are standing over the ball, Robertson and Alexander-Arnold. It's Alexander-Arnold that takes it. The delivery was in towards the 6-yard box. Basham with the clearance, more height than distance. Sheffield United unable to get the ball away. Wijnaldum, he was digging it out from underneath his feet on the edge of the penalty area, and the shot flies over the top of the crossbar.
Well, it's strange because that's a decent free kick, but there is no Liverpool player actually running towards Sheffield United's goal. All of them have taken a step back and are waiting for something to happen. You need someone who's going to go and commit those centre-halves, go and run in there and cause a bit of problem. That's when it bounces down to someone else. But, they're all sort of waiting. No one took the lead.
For Liverpool, this is the first of 3 successive home games. Midtjylland are here on Tuesday in the Champions League, and then next Saturday, West Ham United come to Anfield in the Premier League. Here's Wijnaldum to Robertson. Plays an intelligent ball into the centre of the park. The ball forward from Jota doesn't quite reach Salah, who's been peripheral in these opening exchanges. Lundstrom on a yellow card, remember. His ball forward was overhit and goes behind for a Liverpool.
And that's John Egan, the centre-half, running 50 yards, by the way, to get on the end of that. They're continuing to play, and when they go forward with real gusto. They're just going to carry on playing their game. And the goal, they feel vindicated in their game because they put Liverpool under pressure, prompted the mistake, and again the penalty.
Here's Jota down the right-hand side for Liverpool. Tries to get the crossing. Good block at source from Ender Stevens. Throw into Liverpool over on their right-hand side, the far side of the field. It's Sheffield United attacking towards the Cop end on our right-hand side here at Anfield this evening. Wet, miserable, windy day. The clocks go back here in the United Kingdom later tonight, and it does feel like winter, doesn't it, Paul?
Yes, unfortunately, yes, it does. But I think that means we get an extra hour, doesn't it? Is that about right?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, all right.
When you've got kids, you don't get an extra hour.
Well, it might be good for me. I walk my dogs at 6 in the morning, so that might help.
It'll be lighter.
Yeah, it will be definitely lighter.
Robertson, that was an under-hit pass. It's picked off well by Ampadu. And he just fires the ball into the feet of Lundstrom and gets it back as well. That's good play from Ampadu.
I like him. He's a two-footed player. He's very good on the ball. Very mature for so young.
Here in the Bundesliga would have done him no harm at all, although he wasn't by any means irregular. Now the ball has hit the arm of Robertson and it's been cleared away. Now, obviously, the referee's played on, but will that come back to VAR? We'll come back to that in a moment.
That'll be interesting.
Lundstrom.
Well, you don't want Liverpool falling foul of another ropey decision.
Oh, I think VAR might have just gone and hidden the corner, and let's pretend that one never happened.
What worried me was that long ball that beat Andy Robertson. That was far too easy for Baldock to get on the end of.
Yeah, Baldock's gone streaking down that right-hand side. It's a cross into the box. It looked to have struck that arm of Robertson. It doesn't look like VAR have intervened unless they intervene in the next break in play, because the ball hasn't gone out yet. Ampadu.
That's a great ball.
That's a brilliant ball
to be offside.
McBurney, he's one-on-one with a goalkeeper, and McBurney has turned the ball wide of Allison and wide of the far post, and that really should have been 2-0.
Well, first of all, he's got to be offside. If he's not offside, that's a problem. I think he may just have been. Yeah. But he should be putting that in the net as far as I'm concerned. Honestly, that looked like he was passing it square to someone. I think he's completely... Yeah, that is a poor attempt at goal, I have to say. But you've got to hope he was offside, because, again, that long ball is beating Liverpool's defence far too easy. It's not the first time. Just been speaking about Andy Robertson getting caught. That was far too easy.
Well, we haven't had a replay of the Andy Robertson handball yet. But like I say, I think VAR have just swept that one under the carpet. Here's Ryan Brewster, helps it on, and then the shot from Berg takes a deflection. That's going to be a Sheffield United corner.
And that's the problem you have when you don't have a Virgil van Dijk. That first ball up, normally he nails that. The minute that one is allowed to bounce, the attacking team are in charge. And Brewster does very, very well, as we see this handball again. Oh, it's his hand.
Oh,
that's a penalty.
That's a pen, isn't it?
that's a penalty. Oh no, maybe he's just outside the box.
Oh, don't start that one again,
Oh.
Paul.
Do you know what? I'm leaving that one alone.
Yeah, no, I think that's what VAR have said. Just pretend we never saw that.
Yeah, I think that's what they've done, because that is handball. If all the other decisions I've seen, you know, at Crystal Palace I saw a couple that were very similar to that. One was given, one wasn't.
Ben Osborne is going to take this corner. It's a left-footed delivery. Allison comes out towards the edge of his 6-yard box. He's fouled as he punches away. Fouled by Brewster, and a free kick to Liverpool. 22 minutes gone.
As I was saying before, that first ball up from Sheffield United, that's where Van Dijk would nail that. He would actually head it clear. Fabinho lets it bounce. Gomez isn't strong enough with Brewster. Burge runs on, and that's where they get a chance. And that's far too easy. But, you know, that's where Sheffield United, I think, will get joy, when they're slightly more direct and putting the two centre-halves under physical pressure.
22 and a half minutes gone. Midway point of the first half. Liverpool 0, Sheffield United 1. A penalty from Sander Berg on 12 minutes. The difference between the two sides. You're listening to Premier League Live. We are on Twitter. Wherever you are around the world, come and say hi at TalkSport Live. And we've got a tweet from Adedeo, who said VAR has been very contentious again this season, and I share your idea that Sheffield should not have been given a penalty, but it is what it is. Listening live from his room in Nigeria, enjoying the commentary here on Premier League Live. This is the fourth of 4 games today in the Premier League. It all started at lunchtime, and 1-1 draw between West Ham and Manchester City. Fulham losing at home to Palace, and Manchester United and Chelsea drawing 0-0. Ball into the penalty area. It's a lovely volley.
What a
hit from Ben Osborne, and a great save by the Liverpool goalkeeper Alisson. And Sheffield United on fire here at the moment. They really are all over Liverpool. 2 or 3 good chances since they've taken the lead.
Well, they're at 6s and 7s, Liverpool, when they haven't got the ball defensively. What concerns me is the lack of presence of Jordan Henderson. Normally he's far more influential when they haven't got the ball, and stronger and tougher in the middle of midfield. And Ronaldo, they seem to be, they're anonymous, the pair of them, and I can't quite work it out.
Chris Wilder will be very happy with the way things have gone so far.
Yes and no, because I think what you realise against Liverpool is you have to take chances. And again, the first ball is won, so the ball stays there. Great cross from Baldock.
That's a great
it's a great one. Jota's not marked his man. But it's all about the first ball. They're winning the first ball. McBurney's beating Gomez, beating Fabinho. The ball stays up there then. Now you've got the Liverpool players running back towards their goal. And as Jota showed when Osborne took that strike, the desire to do that isn't there.
So, Sheffield United ahead. As we said earlier, from a neutral point of view, that's perfect for this game. But Sheffield United haven't sat back on that 1-0 lead, and they have looked the likelier.
But they've got to, Liverpool can play better,
yes.
So they've got to score another goal. They have to.
So a free kick, which is going to be taken by Lundstrom on this near side, the Sheffield United right, and towards the penalty area down at the Cop end. Could have caught that one, Alisson. Instead he decides to punch it, does get distance on it, goes to Ampadu, who just plays it square to Ender Stevens. Inside it goes to Lundstrom. And now Brewster is taking up residence on the right-hand side. It was a very poor ball picked up by Henderson, who drives from the edge of the penalty area. He's given it away. Lundstrom, now Brewster.
He looks off the pace, Ryan Brewster, for me. He looks off the pace. He's not quite at the pace of things. Maybe too much has been asked of him, I don't know. But he's trying to do things, trying to beat 2 or 3 players there. Just give it simple, get easy way into the game, because he's not been a presence in the game.
He went and got game time last season at Swansea City in the Championship, and they did make it through to the playoffs. So the ball forward goes straight through to Ramsdale. He'll be happy to just get a little bit more time. He's only played 4 times for Liverpool in total. Never scored for them. Missed a penalty in the Community Shield at Wembley on the opening weekend, before the opening weekend of the season. That's his last contribution in a Liverpool shirt before he was sold to Sheffield United. But he'll be very happy with the scoreline.
Yeah, I just don't know what he is. I've not, like I say, we haven't had the opportunity to see much of him.
Jurgen Klopp is holding Wijnaldum back.
Yeah, Baldock does.
Baldock just leans into him there, a little bit naughty. But
didn't really need to do it, really. Didn't need to do it. And Wijnaldum's angry, and he's quite right too. Quite right too, because he's left one on him, and he knows it. He doesn't need to do that. The ball's off the pitch. Doesn't need to do that at all because he knows the ball's gone off the pitch. It's spiteful play, really.
Liverpool throwing in their right back position, level with the edge of the penalty area. It's going to be taken by Trent Alexander-Arnold. Fourth official today is Lee Madley with his face mask on. He's having a chat with Jurgen Klopp.
Who'd be a fourth official, eh?
Oh, it must be the worst job in the world.
There's something goes wrong on the pitch, and he gets it.
And he's not. He can't influence
he can't do anything.
He doesn't even have a monitor, does he?
I'll tell you what, honestly, I was going to say it's a mugs game.
Yeah.
It's not, because they clearly love it, because it looks like every ref has to do their duty and get screamed at by both managers, because that's what the fourth official gets.
Yeah, he's the worst job in the world. It's got to be.
Oh.
Robertson with a throw in the Sheffield United half for Liverpool, but again Liverpool blunt, and Sheffield United have cleared the ball all the way downfield to Fabinho. Fabinho goes to Trent Alexander-Arnold in the right back position, but isn't clicking at the moment for Liverpool, is it?
No, it's not. They seem very fractured in their play, and that veneer of invincibility seems to have gone. You know, Sheffield United do believe that they can puncture holes in Liverpool's defence, which has been happening, and their defending seems to have kicked on a level. Sheffield United, similar to what it was, last season. They seem to be, urgent when they need to be, snapping into tackles, blocking off areas, and they're doing that really well.
There's Robertson again, just inside the Sheffield United half, but his only realistic route to find a teammate was backwards to Joe Gomez. Here's Henderson, gets the return from Alexander-Arnold. Salah has been very quiet over on that right-hand side. When they do get the ball forward, Sheffield United are equal to it. Ender Stevens and then Ampadu with the challenge. And Stevens slides in and thumps it into the Liverpool half again. Retrieved by Fabinho. Alexander-Arnold switches it from right to left. Inch perfect for Robertson, but his header down, swept away by Basham. Liverpool starts again on the halfway line with Gomez, and then Wijnaldum. It's a bit predictable for Liverpool at the moment. Here's Wijnaldum again. Robertson. And, needs to be careful there, Gomez. It was a poor touch, and Ollie McBurney very nearly took it off him. He did just about enough.
Got to keep tuned in, because that's when you lose concentration. Got to keep tuned in to finger on the pulse of where Liverpool are. They're trying to move the ball about. You have to get these things right, because if not, you allow Sheffield United, that little bit of respite.
Liverpool starting again inside their own half with Fabinho. A tweet from Omu West Store. He's tweeted at TalkSport Live, VAR is just to take the controversy away from the centre referee, because I don't see any difference between them and the VAR. Salah should please score a hat-trick, he says. He's obviously a Liverpool fan, or he's in his fantasy team, one or the other.
Well, he may well be living a fantasy, because
I think he's touched the ball 3 times.
Exactly right. It's very difficult for them at the moment. They don't look likely at the moment, because, again, they're moving the ball slowly. Like you said, it's predictable. And their passing's off too, isn't it?
Yep. Clearance away by the Sheffield United goalkeeper, Aaron Ramsdale. Shadir Blessing is tweeting us at TalkSport Live. The foul was outside the box. It was never a penalty. VAR is controversial again tonight. But that's plain to see, as Fabinho heads the ball down, and Alisson picks it up and in one foul swoop bowls it underarm to Alexander-Arnold into Jordan Henderson. Plenty of time and space. Eventually finds Alexander-Arnold again. It's a bit sluggish from Liverpool at the moment.
It is.
A scooped ball forward from Henderson towards Fabinho, and Sheffield United are going to eat them up all day long, aren't they?
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, Sheffield United's clearances, the ball's just coming back, but Liverpool, that sharp, incisive play is not quite there, and it's because the catalyst for that is Roberto Firmino, and I don't think we've name-checked him. I've forgotten he's playing. I don't think he's touched the ball, has he?
Very, very few times, and Salah likewise, and Mane. How often have they been involved? And when they have touched the ball, it's not been in the final third too much.
And Firmino cannot get the ball. They cannot get the ball to him.
Screened that final third very well so far, Sheffield United. But here's Mo Salah into the penalty area. No, he only needs one glimpse, and it's back to Henderson. Henderson's shot, charged down, good defending by Ender Stevens, and a throw in on the far side to Liverpool.
Well, you're thinking as he cuts inside Salah, he's side-footing that into the far corner, but again, he hesitated.
Salah again tries to help it on towards Henderson, and this time cleared away by Ben Osborne, who's playing in a left-back position, although he's predominantly really the left-sided central midfielder of the three. Ollie McBurney cleared from on the ground by Fabinho.
It's a poor ball back to Fabinho. McBurney reads it and stayed on his feet, funnily enough.
Yeah?
Didn't collapse.
Yeah, for the first time.
Well, there you go. It does happen. They're working their socks off. They really are working hard. They're shutting off areas. It's Liverpool, so, you know, they're going to play that angle ball. They're going to get in every now and again, so Sheffield United have to ride their luck a little. But they are.
Salah's gone down. That was a really strong challenge, but a fair challenge.
Well, he's won the ball.
He's won the ball,
I think he's got a bit of Salah with it.
Ben Osborne.
That is painful.
Yeah, he's gone right through Salah, but he's got the ball first and caught Salah. It's one of those where it just pushes against that, you know, the ankle ligaments.
Yeah, it's painful. It's painful.
I don't think he's too bad. He's moving free again now.
It'll be all right. It's these contact ones, you know, you have to run them off if you can.
There's Robertson.
Can I just say Firmino's on the ball, just to say Firmino's name, because he just hasn't been in. And often he's a barometer of how Liverpool are playing.
Yeah.
When he's not on the ball and not in it at all, you can see the ball move slowly. When he's on it, that's when they're on it.
And you've got Jota out there. Is he actually hampering that 3-6?
I think so. I think so.
Clearance away this time by John Egan. Just happy to thump the ball away. It's with Wijnaldum. Slows things down, goes back to Gomez. And, Robertson. The ball to Jota. Jota tries to slip it through, but there's no one there on that left-hand side edge of penalty area. Sheffield United are able to deal with it. George Baldock lofts a long ball forward. Fabinho. It's an unconvincing header from Fabinho. Gomez is caught by McBurney at a free kick.
But that's what they're doing really well. They're just keeping it up there. They're just frustrating Liverpool. They're keeping it up there. They're making it difficult for them. And Liverpool are getting more and more frustrated.
Well, apart from that effort from inside his own half from Alexander-Arnold after, 2 minutes? They haven't created anything at all, Liverpool, have they?
They haven't, and I think what they've done really well, Sheffield United, is stopped Liverpool. You know, they like to play those balls centrally all through the middle of the pitch, and they've just saturated that area with Sheffield United players and made it really difficult. That's why Jota, Firmino and the like cannot get the ball, because they want it in the feet in those little areas and they're not being allowed to.
Alexander-Arnold inside the half. As an excellent ball to Salah. Salah went to lock the goalkeeper, but it needed a deft little chip over the goalkeeper. And he's overhit that one by some, and it's over the top of the crossbar. And again, Liverpool disappointing.
Well, I'm hoping a defender helped him on his way there. I think has he given a corner? Yeah. Egan just got his toe into that. So it's a corner. It's a great ball, but that's what they're going to need. Good movement.
Yeah, you kind of, when you see Salah in those situations, expect him to kind of score, and it was good defended by Egan. Moving into the penalty areas. Away, only as far as Fabinho, who hit it first time. And it's over the top of the crossbar now for a goal kick.
Now that's what Fabinho should have done the first time on the edge of his box.
Yes.
Yeah, as we've just got going back to it now. That's what he should have done there. And they're slow motion in it, and you can see the tackle is outside the box. I don't want to watch it anymore. I don't want to see it. They're showing the pen again. Very good penalty. Very good penalty.
Sometimes you need a little bit of luck. Liverpool are not having any at the moment. Sheffield United need some. But I think that decision is probably just going to join the growing catalogue of VAR hours. Well, it keeps us talking, doesn't it? Anyway, here's Osborne, edge of the penalty area, left-hand side. McBurney helps it further inside still to Berg. Berg looks towards the right-hand side. It's George Baldock. He usually puts a very good delivery in. He does this time. Now McBurney went up for that.
It's gone down too easy.
He went down, but like you say, Paul, he went down just a bit too easy. Here's Berg again. Goal scorer, the only goal from a penalty. Baldock. This time his cross is deflected. Does put a good delivery in, doesn't he, George Baldock?
Well, Liverpool aren't stopping the crosses. They're not the tallest in the box now. Van Dijk's gone, because Fabinho's not physically huge. So they've got to try and stop the crosses, but the two fullbacks aren't doing it.
Henderson. He making the run was Robertson. Robertson, the left wing back, playing as a right winger at the moment, but he's won a throw. There's 9 minutes to go in this first half, and Liverpool, if you've just joined us, are trailing by 1-0. Sheffield United scoring after 12 minutes. Sander Berg sending Alisson the wrong way from the penalty spot after a penalty was given from referee and VAR combined as a result of a challenge, what looked to be outside the box by Fabinho. And after a long look, VAR said no, it was on the line and therefore it's inside. Well, that's what we're kind of drawing the conclusion to, isn't it, Paul?
Yep, I'm still not having it. I still just think, well, maybe, or clearly on the line is in, or on the outside of the line is in.
Listen, as I look at it, and I'm just looking at it from a retrospective point of view, if it hits the crossbar, it doesn't go in. Here's Baldock though for Sheffield United, back to Berg. And Berg
that's a foul.
That looked like another. They could have had 4 penalties in this first half. Sheffield United
not even looking.
And suddenly Liverpool have got men over going forward. Firmino inside the penalty area, left-hand side, cuts it across the face of the 6-yard box. Good defending by Basham. It's back with Firmino again. Firmino rather. Now Wijnaldum. Robertson. Robertson gets the cross in, but it's behind. It lands on the roof of the net. Watched carefully there by Ramsdale. Well, so much to talk about there. Another penalty shout. Let's have a little look here. Sam Baldock cuts it back. Well, there was definitely a connection with Jota, wasn't there?
It's a penalty.
Yeah.
No, that's a penalty.
Yeah.
That actually is a penalty. And I'm stunned at this. I can't quite work all this out.
So where's VAR now?
Exactly. I can't work all this out. Why have they not looked at... someone's got... This is the bit they've got to explain to me. The other one they spent ages looking at before they... This one they've not even looked at. I don't know. I'm baffled by it all. That's not a penalty.
No, he's lent into Alexander Arnold. There's no arms. Body contact.
But that one worries me. The poor decisions. Or no decision.
Yeah. And like I was saying, if the ball hits a bar or hits a post, it doesn't go in, does it? So, but I'm thinking of the box in the same way.
Well,
you know, it's on the line, it's not in.
I don't know anymore. I don't know.
It's Jordan Henderson. We're all confused. We're supposed to know what we're on about. Here's Jota. We haven't got a clue. I've lost faith in the rule book of football. I must read it again at some point.
It will change next week.
Oh, probably. It's a long ball lofted in towards the penalty area. And headed away by Basham. George Baldock sliding in. It's out for a Sheffield United throw.
And that's what they've been good at. All those little tussles, those little battles, they're winning them all. That hasn't been happening for them this season. They've been going against them. All the little decisions are going for them. Yes, they could have had 3 penalties. Let's be honest. So that hasn't gone for them. But the one that mattered did.
And of course, Alisson making that save from the volley of Osborne.
Yes.
You know, there could have been 2, maybe 3 up. You know, it's not inconceivable.
Well, I'm trying to look at the chances that Liverpool have had. And I think they're few and far between, aren't they? The long-distance shot.
Long-distance shot, I can't remember any others. Salah was blocked just 5 minutes or so ago. A good challenge by Egan. That's about it. They've looked sluggish, they've looked off the pace, they've looked very predictable.
Yeah, they have.
Here's Jota taking the pass off of Firmino. Salah. It'll be interesting to see the stats of how many times Salah, Firmino and even Mane have touched the ball. But it's a great ball in. Mane with a header.
That counts. Goal.
Firmino with the equaliser. And it's certainly not a goal that Liverpool deserve. 5 minutes from half-time, a great ball into the box on the right-hand side. The header for Mane, saved brilliantly by Ramsdale, and the follow-up for Firmino, who doesn't score too many goals at Anfield. Well, he's scored now, and Liverpool back on level terms. They do not deserve this goal, not at all.
But it's poor marking. It's poor marking, sorry. Baldock initially is marking Mane, and then walks away from him. As the ball squeezes out, he walks away, and then as it's put back in, Baldock doesn't go back with him. And that's the bit I can't quite work out. As Basham looks over his shoulder, he's expecting Baldock to be challenging Mane, and he's not. Great save from the keeper, gives the defenders a chance to react. They don't, but Firmino does. And they're back in it, Liverpool.
Well, that could be crucial, because you're going 1-0 down at half-time, you're searching to try and change it, and suddenly straight through the middle, Salah with the goalkeeper to beat, and it's a good save by Ramsdale. Well, it's one of those, Paul, that we'll probably never know, because they're told not to put their flag up, and we probably won't see the decision from VAR because it matters not. But let's just have a look here. Yes, a country mile offside.
You'd have to catch a cab to him. That's how far offside he is. But he doesn't put it in the net. No, and the thing about that, normally they're going in.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have counted had he done so.
Yeah.
But you still expect him to
put it in the net to bulge, and that's not been happening.
No. He's been disappointing tonight, Salah, so far.
Not really been in it, but then
which Liverpool player has?
Jota's struggled. I think he's a good player, but maybe the position he's playing in, he's finding a challenge. And it's impacting on Firmino, without a doubt.
It just feels like he's there, but he's getting in the way of the big three.
Yes, he is, yes.
You know, and he hasn't quite found a way of bedding in with them.
He hasn't found his place yet.
No.
You know, he hasn't found his identity in the side yet.
Excellent player, though.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Very impressed with him in his days at Wolves. It's a long ball forward. George Baldock won't catch that one, and he said Sam Baldock. Sam Baldock's his older brother, who does play down in the EFL.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Is he at Milton Keynes still?
I think he's at Reading.
Yes, I think you're right. He is. Yes, who of course are top of the Championship and won again today. There's Gomez, and suddenly Liverpool, out of nowhere, at 1-1, they become favourites again at the flick of a light switch, if you like.
But that's why Sheffield United have to take their chances, Barry, because you're talking about a quality side, and if they click once, you know they're capable of scoring. So when Sheffield United have had those chances, they may well look back on them and rue missing them, because you know, come the second half, you know Liverpool can play 15, 20, 25, 30% better.
Yes.
But Sheffield United, I'm not sure how much more they've got to give, because they've been really good this half.
You'd be surprised Liverpool were this poor in the second 45
Can't see
minutes.
it.
You can't. No.
Be very surprised. But, you know, it's going to be about what Sheffield United turn up. If they're prepared to hang on and nick, you know, the odd chance counter-attacking, then who knows?
Stevens with a header away. Ben Osborne has been pushed back into almost left-back position sometimes down that right-hand side. They really are smothering that side of the pitch to ensure that Mo Salah doesn't get a free rein. Here's Ronaldo.
Been weird, Ronaldo. He's normally quietly effective, but him and Jordan Henderson just haven't been as effective as you normally would think.
Brewster working hard, but Gomez gets there first. Robertson touches the ball beyond Baldock, but doesn't
What was that?
accelerate after it. I think he was expecting Mane to be there. Mane had gone wandering further infield.
Mane's 15 yards away. It just is a bit, and then he's running on expecting Mane to be there, and that's a bit. That's kind of synonymous with where they are, slightly out of sync with each other at the moment.
And these two guys have been playing together for what, 3-4 years together down that left-hand side. You kind of thought they would have been almost telepathic at times. They are. They didn't read one another there at all. Here come Liverpool with Jota, who's on the right-hand side at the moment. It's a roaming position for Jota. He's been more right-hand side, but it's finding that place. Here he is again, picking the ball up midway inside the Sheffield United half, carrying it to the left, and Robertson takes a touch, plays it inside to Wijnaldum. Wijnaldum, right-footed delivery over towards Salah on the right-hand side. He's got Trent Alexander-Arnold on the outside, but instead it goes to Henderson, back to Salah again.
And it's gone. I mean, there was one side that came over here to Robertson, and both Jota and Firmino made the same run to feet, and they're within a yard of each other, and that's the problem that they're having.
And, well, 3 minutes of added time have been added on at the end of this half. And, Liverpool into the penalty area. Robertson cuts it back. It's good defending by Egan to get the ball away. Berg clears, but only as far as Jordan Henderson, who quickly switches it to the right-hand side. It was a thumping effort towards Alexander-Arnold, who didn't really control it at all well. And, Sheffield United were able to clear through Osborne. There's Lundstrom down the left-hand side for the Blades, who will feel their performance in this first half as they like their position in the bottom three. It is, of course, still early days in the Premier League. It's good play by Sheffield United. Basham, who's ventured forward again. You talk about the central defenders going forward. It's Basham now, and he's got the return. It's Basham who's charged down by Gomez. Gomez then knocks it up in the air. McBurney and Gomez go for the same ball, and Gomez does eventually get it away. But Paul, we're talking about those central defenders going forward. This time it's Basham.
Yeah, and the thing about it is the ball stayed in the box. You know, they couldn't get it clear, Liverpool, because the physical bulk and presence of the two centre-halves isn't there. McBurney's having the field day, to be truthfully honest. They just don't have the physical presence to be able to challenge him and win the ball, but also clear it 10 or 15 yards.
Not many teams would come here with two strikers, one of them big and bulky, and of course Liverpool no end of problems in this first half.
Yeah, they have.
Here's Wijnaldum for Liverpool. Good.
He's off the pace, Wijnaldum.
Yeah,
he's normally very aware of what's going on around him, and he just seems to be all over the place at the moment, but where he should be.
Yeah. As we hit the 2-minute mark of 3 added on minutes as a minimum at the end of this first half. Liverpool 1, Sheffield United 1. Well, it's been an interesting first half, shall we say. Here's McBurney. Good turn from him. Tries to slide it through. Good run from the midfield from Sander Berg. Liverpool block it off, but they can't keep possession. Here's Chris Basham. Another instance of one of those defenders coming forward from the centre and joining in on the attack. That's a good ball from Ampadu. Baldock. That's another testing cross in towards a penalty area, just too far ahead of Osborne, and cleared away by Liverpool. For the header goes Ender Stevens, and he wins it back again. And there is the half-time whistle from the referee, Mike Dean. Well, plenty to talk about. Liverpool were nearly ahead inside the opening couple of minutes. Trent Alexander-Arnold with a wonderful free kick from inside his own half, which very nearly caught out Aaron Ramsdale. He just got back to touch it over the bar, but that was arguably the finest point of the first half up until their equaliser from Liverpool. Then a controversial penalty, shall we say. Sander Berg scoring from the penalty spot after 12 minutes after VAR deemed a foul by Fabinho to be outside the box when it was at best on the line. So that's one we can talk about at half-time. Sheffield United could have had a couple more penalties. They also saw a good effort from Ben Osborne, well saved by Alisson. But just before half-time, Liverpool back on level terms. They only need one. Sadio Mane forcing the save from Ramsdale, and with a follow-up, Roberto Firmino tapping the ball into the empty net. At half-time, it's Liverpool 1, Sheffield United 1. You're listening to Premier League Live.
As darkness sweeps around the globe at 8 p.m. on the 18th of November, 25,000 people worldwide will pull their running shoes on to hit the road for a virtual 5 or 10k at Run in the Dark. I'm Mark Pollock, and by joining us to Run in the Dark this November, you'll be supporting the Mark Pollock Trust and our charity partner Collaborative Cures, whose mission it is to cure paralysis in our lifetime. Register now at runinthedark.org and get your medal, your flashing armband, and your Run in the Dark virtual timing app. Thank you.
Let's talk about you looking after your business. Ford, looking after your vehicle. Let's talk hassle-free Ford leasing. Just a fixed monthly payment, no motor tax to deal with, and no maintenance or servicing to pay on selected plans. Get the all-new Ford Kuga from €425 per month. Hassle-free Ford lease. Now we're talking. Search Ford lease or text Ford to 50015 to speak to us about leasing your next vehicle.
Text cost a standard rate. Price quoted for a Kuga Titanium with no maintenance over 4 years with monthly rentals in advance. 20,000 kilometres per annum. Business users only. Price excludes VAT. Ford Lease is provided by Merriam Fleet Management, trading as Ford Lease.
Get ready and hold on tight, because the Premier League is here! Which teams will stay on track, and who'll go off the rail? Get the Irish Sun for top transfer news, exclusive star interviews and opinions from the biggest names in football, plus expert analysis of every action-packed match in our fantastic goals pull-out each weekend. Stay up to speed, because you never know what the Premier League is going to throw up. Pick up the Irish Sun today.
This is not the time for business as usual. It's time for effort and imagination. It's time to use technology to start your online plans. It's time to work from home to stay in touch. It's time to look to each other. Erscoa Kayla. Ireland is working online with help from Black Knight and .ie, because now we need better than business as usual. Call Black Knight on 059 918 3027 or visit blackknight.ie.
123ink.ie for all your home office needs, including printers, ink, toners, paper, label markers, binders,
pens, bins, batteries, boxes, chalk, compass, files, memory sticks, highlighters, glue, notepads, pencils,
Whoa! And we're cheaper than your current supplier. 123ink.ie for home, for office, for less.
Introducing Guardson Sport. Protect your sporting equipment from COVID-19 for up to 14 days with Guardson Sport disinfectant treatment. Ideal in team sports settings with the sharing of balls, rackets, gloves, helmets and all other sporting equipment. Guardson Sport kills COVID-19 on impact, keeping surfaces free from COVID-19 and other viruses and bacteria for up to 14 days by creating a protective polymer layer on application. For more information on Guardson Sport and other quality assured, certified and approved PPE, visit yourcovidprotection.com.
So half-time here at Anfield. Liverpool 1, Sheffield United 1. Earlier on, it finished Manchester United 0, Chelsea 0. Let's hear from the two managers after that game. Frank Lampard, the Chelsea boss, and first of all, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
There weren't too many chances in the game. I think the two good teams defensively, but then again their keeper made two fantastic saves from Marcus. So if there was going to be a winner, it was going to be Marcus scoring it and us winning. So I felt we grew more and more into the game, built more pressure, started off a little bit slow, but we found a foothold in the game, we got it, and we pegged them back. But as I've said a couple of times in a couple of interviews here now, the fans at the Stratford end would have helped us suck that ball in the net.
I'm pleased. Yeah, I'm pleased because it's they help you not lose football matches, that's for sure. And when you come to Manchester United and their quality of their individuals, you know, Rashford, Fernandes, bringing on Cavani, you know that they have threats. But we worked hard. We were organised. We had quality. The personnel out there, Mendy, Silva, Azpilicueta. Defensive side of our game was really strong. Our attacking side wasn't quite there today for whatever reason. It just broke down slightly. I'm less concerned with that because I know that will come because of the quality we had. But the two clean sheets in the week are very positive against two good teams.
Frank Lampard obviously pleased with a clean sheet, Paul, and he sounds quite happy with the point as well.
Yeah, he does. I mean, what he's saying is that, you know, defensively they were good, attacking, offensively they weren't, and he couldn't quite work out why. I tend to say, you know, the bits of the game that I saw, it's two tired teams. That's what I saw. Two tired teams battling out a game where they should be better, but actually couldn't be better, just because they were tired and they were fatigued. There's been a lot of games in a short space of time, and you've got a selection of players that haven't played enough, and some that have played too much playing. So you're going to get fractured performances, you know, and that's what you saw.
Here at Anfield, it's 1-1 at half-time. Plenty of talking points. Let's have a listen to the first half highlights. Bernie, Brewster. Tennis between the two front men for Sheffield United. It's a poor clearance by Fabinho, and the shot comes in from Lundstrom. But the referee's going to call that a penalty, I think, because of the foul by Fabinho. I mean, it was rash on Ollie McBurney. They're having a check on this one for a penalty. I think we've agreed it's just slightly outside, isn't it? Mind you, we never know with VAR.
No, you have no clue, and that's the worrying thing. It's just outside. It looks like it's just on the line. That looks outside.
I think he's given a penalty, isn't he?
I think he has given a penalty.
Well,
what do we know?
VAR.
I'm going to have to rub my eyes.
Ever ceases to amaze us. Sander Berg is the player who's going to take this spot kick. Complete silence at Anfield. Sheffield United penalty, and he sent a goalkeeper Alisson the wrong way, and Sheffield United lead in the opening 12 minutes. A controversial decision made by VAR, a penalty given when it looked like a free kick outside the box.
That's a great ball.
It's a brilliant ball over the top. McBurney, he's one-on-one with a goalkeeper, and McBurney has turned the ball wide of Alisson and wide of the far post, and that really should have been 2-0.
He should be putting that in the net as far as I'm concerned. Honestly, that looked like he was passing it square to someone.
Oh, that's a great ball in.
Oh, it's a
with
great
a header.
step outside. Nice counts, goal.
Firmino with the equaliser. And it's certainly not a goal that Liverpool deserve. 5 minutes from half-time, a great ball into the box on the right-hand side. The header for Mane, saved brilliantly by Ramsdale, and the follow-up for Firmino, who doesn't score too many goals at Anfield. Well, he's scored now, and Liverpool back on level terms. They do not deserve this goal. Not at all. So, one apiece at half-time. Paul Mortimer alongside me. I think we all know what we're going to be talking about for the next minute. I've just had an official statement from the Premier League about the penalty shout that didn't even go to VAR. It was the one where George Baldock crossed it. It hit the arm or the hand of Andrew Robertson. The Premier League have come out with an official statement to us saying it was checked, but in line with the tweak in the interpretation, his arm was in a natural position and therefore it was not a penalty. Do you read into that?
I think what they really were saying is, at the time when they were supposed to be looking at it, the guy went to the toilet or was making a cup of tea. That's because that's rubbish. I don't know. I don't know, because I saw a couple of weeks ago. I was at Crystal Palace, and I saw the exact same thing happen in the box, where the player's hand was in a natural position. It was closer, and it was given a penalty. And this one is the exact same, and it's not given.
If it was at the other end, would it have been a penalty? That's what a lot of people will be saying, I'm sure.
Yeah, possibly. With all the fans in, yeah. I mean, this gives the referees a little bit of a little bit of respite, because they're not getting the grief from the fans, which they would definitely have got. Especially after giving that penalty, they definitely would have got the grief. So the pressure from the fans isn't there at the moment.
Hey, TalkSport Live. This is Terry Bray, who's tweeted us at TalkSport Live. Whoever's saying the foul is a penalty is forgetting that the ball is outside the box, and it's not a foul. See below. So he's tweeted us a picture, and yes, the ball is outside the box, but it's not really about the ball, is it? It's about the defender contacting the striker. Am I right? I've kind of lost the confidence in my own interpretation of the rules now. I think.
As far as I know, it's about the contact, but I don't think the contact was inside the box. I mean, from what we've seen, again, I'm now not trusting my eyes. I'm going to need help getting home, because I'm not going to be able to read stuff, because I see that as being outside the box, but it's bizarre.
It is. And that wasn't the only talking points in the first half regarding penalties. We also saw, I think it was Berg who was upended. I think was it Wijnaldum?
Yeah, that was a penalty.
And in your eyes, that was a penalty?
Jota, I think it was Jota stuck his foot there, and he's fallen over his foot. It may have been soft, but that by the letter of the law that we're apparently going by, but it seems that letter was lost in the post somewhere. But by the letter of the law, that should be a penalty.
And again, VAR are not looking.
I don't get that. I really don't get it. So, if it's here to look at those, then do your job. Then look at them, or don't. Then don't have it.
Sometime in the past, I've heard someone say we should have 3 appeals, like in tennis. And this first half, that would have been apt, wouldn't it? If Sheffield United could have at least said, right, have a look at that. Come on. But
I'm not interested. I don't want appeals.
Oh no, that would make it even worse. I'm just saying.
You see, what this does is it challenges officials to be better.
Yeah.
They have to be better, because this can't keep happening. So they have to improve. They have to be better. Otherwise, we're going to keep getting these decisions, and what they're going to do is cost people promotion, relegation, cost managers their jobs. They're going to cost people. Now, the game is now not going to be about what goes on the pitch. It's going to be about what goes on at Stockley Park, which is not even in the game.
It was brought in to stop those incidents, to stop those contentious decisions.
Well, it's become the 12th player, isn't it?
Yeah.
For whichever team, it's become the 12th player. It really has.
Anyway, we can talk about VAR until the cows come home, but it's reared its ugly head good and proper on more than one occasion in this first half. We've got the second half to come. Hopefully VAR won't dominate the second half. At half-time, it's Liverpool 1, Sheffield United 1. We'll be back with the second half in just a moment. This is Premier League Live.
Get ready and hold on tight, because the Premier League is here! Which teams will stay on track, and who'll go off the rail? Get the Irish Sun for top transfer news, exclusive star interviews, and opinions from the biggest names in football. Plus expert analysis of every action-packed match in our fantastic goals pull-out each weekend. Stay up to speed, because you never know what the Premier League is going to throw up. Pick up the Irish Sun today.
I was never good at spelling. I could read just fine, but I would be afraid if anybody asked me to do anything involving spelling. Since doing the course, all that has changed. I am braver. In fact, I feel braver than ever now. You're never too old to learn. Never. If reading, writing, maths or technology is holding you back, take the first step. Free phone 1-800-2020-65 or text LEARN to 550 to see how we can help. This free and confidential service is supported by your local ETB, Solis and Nala.
Create the Premier League atmosphere at home with Harvey Norman, the home of the big screen. Feel like you're on the pitch with our stunning range of 4K smart LED and OLED TVs from LG, starting from just $449. Plus, hear every kick, save, tackle, decision with LG's best-in-class soundbars. Get TV ready for all the big games with Harvey Norman. Shop online today or safely in our spacious stores. Harvey Norman, home of the big screen.
Demanding a high performance from your team? You should be demanding the same from your tyres. The Irish Tyre Industry Association is urging motorists to stay safe this winter and check the condition of your tyres. You could even be liable for a fine and penalty points if found driving with tyres below the legal tread depth limit of 1.6 millimeters. ITIA expert technicians will carry out a free tyre safety check to ensure your tyres are safe and legal. Visit itia.ie to find your local expert.
As darkness sweeps around the globe at 8 p.m. on the 18th of November, 25,000 people worldwide will pull their running shoes on to hit the road for a virtual 5 or 10k at Run in the Dark. I'm Mark Pollock, and by joining us to Run in the Dark this November, you'll be supporting the Mark Pollock Trust and our charity partner Collaborative Cures, whose mission it is to cure paralysis in our lifetime. Register now at runinthedark.org and get your medal, your flashing armband, and your Run in the Dark virtual timing app. Thank you.
At Paddy Power, we know competition for the remote control can be fierce at the weekends. So in order to give the non-football loving occupants of your house something to do, here are some of our top suggestions. Go for a walk. Walk the dog. Go cycling. Cycle the dog. Recycle the dog. Just go! All very good options, we say. And that's not the only one. If one leg of your 4+ fold ACCA lets you down, get a free bet on all football leagues and markets. Paddy Power. Max free bet €10. Min odds 1 to 5 on each leg. Online exclusive. Excludes shop bets. T's and C's apply. 18 plus. Need help? Visit gamblingcare.ie.
You're listening to TalkSport's coverage of Liverpool against Sheffield United from Anfield. I'm your host, Barry Swain. Alongside me is the former Crystal Palace, Charlton Athletic and Aston Villa winger, Paul Mortimer. This is Premier League Live. Well, the two teams are out and we're just about ready to get off and underway in this second half. I'll run through the two lineups in just a second. Paul, no changes, I don't think, at half-time. Not seen any boards held up.
No.
So we're as we were. Liverpool on the front foot already with Sadio Mane, but his attempted pass inside has been headed away by Sheffield United. And
already you can see the change. They're moving the ball quickly already.
Yes, the tempo is there for Liverpool. Forward by Trent Alexander-Arnold. So Salah couldn't make it count. Here's Fabinho. He's got to be careful back there. Leaves it for Gomez. And Wijnaldum to Robertson. Now Fabinho. Fabinho to Salah. To Mane, rather. Mane back to Robertson on that left-hand side. Back to Wijnaldum. Halfway line and over to this near side. And Fabinho. Liverpool unchanged in the first half. Alisson back in goal today. Alexander-Arnold, Gomez, Fabinho and Robertson the back four. Holding midfielders Henderson and Wijnaldum. And Salah and Mane down the flanks. Jota in behind Firmino in attack, or the other way around there, whether you want to interpret this four-pronged attack for Liverpool. Sheffield United do some defending at the moment. Ball's at the feet of Ben Osborne. He's one of 3 changes for Sheffield United from the 1-1 draw at home to Fulham last weekend. Here's Firmino. Leaves it for Jota. Good tackle coming in from Basham. And then he's fouled by Mane. Free kick to Sheffield United.
So you're thinking there, as the ball's left there and Jota gets onto it, one touch out wide to Robertson to be able to cross in. But he's taken too many touches. That's not the Liverpool way. Get it out wide so he can slide a low cross in for the others to finish, and that's not the case. So it's about getting up to speed with the way, you know, you're expected to play. You're going forward and attacking for Liverpool, and Jota's not quite there yet.
Aaron Ramsdale to take this free kick. He's in goal for Sheffield United. The long ball forward headed away by Gomez. It's the greatest of headers. McBurney tries to shift it outside to the right. Baldock weaves back inside towards a penalty area. Liverpool able to deal with it. Ramsdale in goal. Basham, Egan, the captain, and Ampadu, the 3 defenders. Baldock and Stevens, the 2 wing backs, as cross comes in from Lundstrom, headed back by Berg, and then a sizzling effort coming in from Baldock. It wasn't a bad effort either, but it's just wide of the target.
And you consider, Barry, this all came from that first ball up that they don't clear. And when they do clear it, it's still in their own half. And it's a huge way. They dropped so deep. They're 5 yards deeper than the Sheffield United players, and they head it straight to the Sheffield United players. They've got to be stronger there, because that's what's causing the problems for them.
Well, it's a corner sent in by Lundstrom. Deep one as well, headed in, back across the face of goal. Brewster couldn't really react quick enough. He had Basham in behind, and lurking for the loose ball was Berg, but it's been headed away. I think it was Henderson that got it away. Sheffield United come back again. Lundstrom down the left-hand side will chase. Robertson comfortably back to Allison, who clears first time right-footed upfield. As Firmino was halfway through the Sheffield United team. Basham, Egan, Ampadu, the three defenders. Ramsdale in goal, Baldock and Stevens, the wing-backs. As Mane gets the cross in. Lundstrom, Berg and Osborne, the three central midfielders, McBurney and Brewster in attack, and finally managed to name that 11. On the bench for Liverpool, Milner is in amongst it all, but Curtis Jones and Nico Williams are both on the bench for Liverpool today, and Minamino and Shaqiri, Adrian, the goalkeeper. As Liverpool spread the ball out to the right-hand side, and here's Trent Alexander-Arnold, takes a couple of touches, gets it into the penalty area. Firmino, now Henderson, looking towards the right-hand side. It was in between Robertson and Salah. They seem to have swapped at the moment.
That's the problem you had. From that set piece, they came out and swapped.
And ball sent in towards Mane. He waited for it to get beyond Baldock, and then...
Oh, lovely skill.
It's Trent Alexander-Arnold with a back heel from the corner flag towards Mane. Mane into the penalty area, cuts it back. It's Robertson, takes it down, tries to pull it back. Perhaps he might have been better off going for goal himself, and eventually Sheffield United able to clear. They'd swapped there for a moment, hadn't they?
They had, and the shame is that, you know, had Robertson been crossing that for Alexander-Arnold, it would have been a different result. I think he's taken it down well with his left foot onto his right foot, and then should just smash it. He's gone to try and cross it, cut it back for one of his teammates, Robertson, instead of shooting. But already you can see the difference in sort of tempo from Liverpool, slightly sharper, and players are making runs, more runs forward.
Liverpool come again. It's taking a stumble was Jota inside the penalty area, 5 minutes into the second half, and I think the referee has given a goal kick. Jota wanted a corner.
Well, I think it was a corner, possibly. They've come together. It's probably come off the Sheffield United player off for a corner. You can see Jota is 100% certain, and we'll see here. It's a corner, but the ref will never see that.
No.
He'll never see it, because of the angle of the ball, you're expecting that to have come off the attacking player.
With a full cop, maybe it might have been a corner.
Yes, possibly.
But the cop is empty. Maybe one day soon we'll start to get crowds back in these stadiums. Let's hope. It's a good play by Ampadu. I have to say, Paul, he's very comfortable with the ball at his feet.
Yeah, he's a good little player. He really is.
Osborne tries to slide it through towards Brewster.
It's the right ball, but again, he just doesn't seem to be up to speed.
Here's Salah, right-hand side for Liverpool. Good momentum from him to get forward, but Sheffield United quickly closing down in a 2-on-1 situation. Henderson to Mane, edge of the penalty area. Mane tries to scoop it forward again. Green shirts there in numbers. Sloppy defending. The ball is sent back into the penalty area by Trent Alexander-Arnold. It comes off the head of Ender Stevens. That'll be a corner to Liverpool.
And they're creaking a little bit. Sheffield United, there you go. They've not watched the corner.
Little 1-2. Salah trying to weave his way through a brick wall. That brick wall being Sander Berg. He wasn't going to get past him.
No, but they're getting better, Liverpool. The confidence is back. And Sheffield United players just switched off when Trent Alexander-Arnold had the ball. That's why the short corner could be taken. But they've got to clear their heads and just defend and see this 5 or 10 minute period of pressure out.
52 on the clock. You're listening to Premier League Live. Liverpool 1, Sheffield United 1. Trent Alexander-Arnold with the corner. Sends it in, right-footed. Away from McBurney, and then Salah goes for the curler towards the top corner, but it overhit It's wide and it's high,
Yeah.
it's no problem.
That's where he is at the moment, Salah. Normally, I'm not saying they're going in, but the keeper's having to make a save. He's not as accurate at the moment. You know, your time's gone by, you're expecting either the net to bulge or for you to go, oh, what a great save. And at the moment, for him, they're getting blocked, they're going wide, he's scuffing them all over the place, not really going where he would normally expect them to.
Oliver Burke is going to come on in a moment, by the look of it, for Sheffield United. Did hear an interesting stat. I don't think he's ever won a Premier League game. He's one of these. I think he's for West Bromwich Albion and then for Sheffield United. He's yet to win a Premier League game. He's got something like 14, 15 appearances. Right. So
I'm expecting him to come on for Brewster. That's what I would expect.
Yes,
I think he's struggled. I think he's struggled, Brewster. I don't think he's... It's always difficult to go back to the club that you played for. It really is, because you've got all these expectations that are difficult. It's very difficult.
Probably not the game to be making your first start in the Premier League.
No, not against people that know you well and have trained with you well and know how you play. You know?
He came off as off the bench last week as a substitute. And indeed, it is Ryan Brewster, who's going to be replaced by Oliver Burke.
He'll find his way. He's a good player, good pedigree, been taught well. It just might take him a little bit of time to get used to the way Sheffield United play and what they want from him, because he's been off the pace today. He's been off the pace.
His time will come. He's got time on his side. He's only 20, and he's replaced by Oliver Burke.
Quick, strong, direct.
18 Premier League appearances without a single victory.
This is a different proposition for the two centre-halves, because he has genuine pace and will run in behind.
Yeah, he's a forward-thinking player.
Yeah, he's quick. He's quick with and without the ball. So Fabinho and Gomez are going to, they're going to have to work and think and defend properly.
Much was spoken of Oliver Burke earlier in his career. He was a promising young player, and he's still got plenty to prove. He's still young.
But the thing that sport him is he's had a lot of moves in a short space of time, so he's never really settled down anywhere for long enough to be able to cement a place.
A bit of determination there from Firmino. Back to Wijnaldum, and now Robertson. First time ball into the box towards Salah. Hooked away by Ender Stevens. Sheffield United clear, but only as far as Trent Alexander-Arnold. It's Jordan Henderson. Alexander-Arnold again. Firmino. Henderson. He's got runners ahead of him. One of them is Mane. It's just run away from him. He pulls it back, and then Robertson with a shot. It's a crashing low shot, and it was blocked well by Basham. That was good from Liverpool.
It was, but I'm wondering what stopped Henderson from shooting. It's not too far out. It's a decent pass. It's just always running away from Mane because of the angle. It's taking him away from the goal.
It's Firmino again. In the last game of last season, he scored his first goal at Anfield, his 9th goal of the season. He scored 8 away and just that one at home against Chelsea on the last day. So it's his first home league goal of the season, so he's got as many at home as last season.
It's baffling that a player of his quality doesn't score enough goals. It just doesn't. No. He's a very, very good player, though, and I think he's the heartbeat of how they play. Yes. And as I've said before, he is the barometer. If he's not playing well, it's because their football is not working. When it's working and flying, he is the most important figure within their play, and he's been on the periphery of things today.
It's game 4 of 4 today, and tomorrow we've got 3 more for you. Starting with Southampton against Everton. Alex Crook and Paul Parker, your commentary team down at St Mary's, followed by Wolves against Newcastle United. Tim Long and Kev Watson will be commentating on that one, and then the third game is back in London, where Arsenal take on Leicester City. That should be a good game. Tom Rennie and David Connolly will be calling the shots for that one. And then on Monday evening, Brighton against West Brom with Richard Wolfenden and Dean Hammond, followed by Burnley against Spurs. James Fielding and Kev Watson will be across that one. So plenty of action coming up in the next couple of days. Henderson sends it forward. It come off of Lundstrom, and eventually it's cleared by Egan. Into touch on this near side for a throw into Liverpool, taken quickly by Henderson. Jota goes all the way back to Fabinho, who in turn goes all the way back to Alisson. There'll be boosted by the return of Alisson, won't they?
Hugely important. With the loss of Van Dijk, there's another leader put back in at the back. It's a calming influence, doesn't panic, never flustered, and you know, with Van Dijk gone, it was great to have him back.
It's going to be a throw-in to Sheffield United. You're listening to Premier League Live. We are on Twitter, wherever you are around the world. It'd be great to hear from you at TalkSport Live. Trevor Barmer has just tweeted us to say great commentary to accompany a family visit to the pumpkin patch. And he sent a picture of all the pumpkins on Twitter. Thank you very much for that. Looks great. Of course, Halloween just around the corner. And he says 3-1 to the Blades. Well, it's
wow.
Still possible.
Oh!
Well, he's just talking about the influences of Alisson, and he was closed down quickly there by Oliver Burke, and he was lucky to get away with that one, Paul.
Well, that's the thing. You know, he's deceptive in his pace, Oliver Burke. He's a lot quicker than even Alisson thought. Not the greatest first touch, and he's got lucky there, actually, because he could, dare I say it, have given away a penalty. I don't want to say it, but, you know, if one of the outfield players, if one of the centre-halves underestimates Burke's pace like that, it could cause problems.
Yeah, it was sloppy. He just didn't anticipate it, did he?
No, he didn't. He didn't. And he's quick. He's a willing runner as well. Not a problem for him to work hard and shut people down, because I think that's how he gets his joy. And I think he'll create issues.
To Mane from Henderson. Mane. Vintage Mane by any stretch of the imagination. A foul on Ampadu.
Well, there's a couple of things there. I think that ball from Jordan Henderson was supposed to go out to Robertson, by the way. I don't think he meant to fizz it into Mane like that. But he's taken too many touches there, you know, and as he caught him, he's just slightly caught him. But
Nico Williams, Nathaniel Phillips, you've really only got senior players, Shirkan Shaqiri and James Milner to look to tonight.
Who haven't played any games.
Yeah.
So they're not going to be up to speed physically. I mean, Shaqiri hasn't featured at all, really, over the last six months. Not at all. He seems to have slipped.
Yeah, down the pecking order.
Yeah, he does. He really does. So it's a very young bench. I think that just highlights how many players they're missing.
Yeah.
Liverpool.
Yeah. Sticking with what they've got at the moment. I'd be surprised to see James Milner before too long. Here's Berg. It's a good ball in as well from Berg, and they're queuing up. Header from Lundstrom. He was slightly ahead of it. And taking a tumble was Jota. He's holding his right leg, but referee Mike Dean says play on. Lundstrom slows things down. Left-hand side for Sheffield United. Midway inside Liverpool half. Little 1-2 with Ender Stevens. Stevens forward. A good ball as well to Oliver Burke. And Oliver Burke got the shot away, and it's blocked.
It's a chance. And you see the way he ran around Fabinho like he wasn't there. Liverpool expecting the ball to be knocked out. He runs round Fabinho, who holds him back. He's not there. Now it's a bit of composure. Now it's a little bit of composure. Baldock at the far post is the one. He's never scoring from there. You know, it's a great block from Gomez. He's not scoring. It's a bit of composure there. You know, lay it for Baldock, who's got the whole goal to shoot at. But a rush of blood to the head, maybe. But
he's made an impact.
Exactly. That's where you see his worth. And he'll do that again at some point.
Just past the hour mark. Liverpool 1, Sheffield United 1. Fourth instalment of live commentary action from the Premier League here on Premier League Live. It's 1-1 as the ball is played by Alexander-Arnold, and there's Mo Salah, and he tucks it into the corner, and Liverpool leads. He only needs one sniff of goal, Mo Salah, and he quickly lofted it beyond the reach of Aaron Ramsdale. And they have certainly not been on song tonight, Liverpool, but just past the hour mark, they lead by 2-1.
Well, it's a wonderful ball, and I'm sitting there as the ball, because I'm right behind Alexander-Arnold, and I'm thinking, well, Salah must be offside, because it's far too easy. I'm thinking he's offside, but, do you know what? I think they'll have a look at it.
I think they will.
I think they'll have a look at it, and I think you'll find it may well just be offside.
Certainly, Mane is in an offside position. Let's chalk him out the equation. He didn't really play a part. No, he is interfering, isn't he, in his own way? But it's, I think,
Salah's offside.
Yeah, it's offside.
It's offside,
yeah. Count.
It's offside, yeah. His knee is offside. I mean, it's ridiculous, really. That should be onside. Yeah. But, yeah, it's offside. That's what I thought, because I'm right behind Alexander-Arnold, and he's just got too much space for me, Salah. So I'm thinking he's got to be offside there.
Yeah.
Great finish.
I think it's the right call, but again, VAR comes back to bite Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp.
I think Chris Wilder's getting all his luck today, isn't he?
Yeah,
Because they've been on the receiving end of some poor decisions.
Oh dear.
It's a warning.
Yep, it is. And he only needs one chance, doesn't he, Salah?
It's a great finish too.
It was. And he's talking fine margins again. McBurney hits it forward. Gomez turns it away from inside his own penalty area. Good play by Jota to get away from Ben Osborne. Jota gets the return.
Giving the ball away too often, Jota, in good areas. He keeps giving the ball away.
Yep. Sheffield United coming forward. And Burke will chase. Gomez gets in front of him, sends it back to Alisson, who scoops it long, right-footed downfield up towards the halfway line. Won by Lundstrom, but only as far as Firmino. Firmino to Mane. Mane on the left-hand side. Just gets past the challenge of Basham and gets the cross in. Good header away by Ender Stevens. It's back with Liverpool and Henderson. Now Robertson, left-hand side to Mane. Mane will take on George Baldock. Can he get the cross in? He can. It's a great ball in. And this time Liverpool do score. And it's Jota with a lovely little header into the corner. And Liverpool do lead. And I don't think VAR are going to intervene on this one.
Can't. And it's good play from Sadio Mane. I think, is it Basham out where Jota actually isn't being marked? He's between two players. It looks like Egan. I'm not quite sure who else. It looks like Osborne.
Yeah,
between them both, and he's not being marked. And really, he's just got to guide it. The pace is on the ball. He's still got a bit to do, but he's done it really well.
I'm just looking at the action replay on the monitor here of Jurgen Klopp, and he's fist pumped and turned away to his bench, and he's quickly turned around again as if to say, "Hold on, a VAR going to intervene again."
Well,
and no, they haven't.
and again, like, as I said to you earlier, that Sheffield United will rue the missed chances.
Yes.
The missed opportunities, because with Liverpool, the type of team they are, they're like Man City, where they could be playing poorly. One little bit of quality clicks, and they'll create a chance. And if it falls to, certain players, it's going in the net.
Yeah.
And that's what's happened.
Yeah. Bit of quality from Mane's ball in and the header, and you blink and take your eye off the ball for 1 second and you can get punished, and that's a free kick. And it could well, like you say, be a yellow card there for Ender Stevens as he takes out Jota.
He's never getting the ball. And this is where Sheffield United just have to clear their heads and just swallow down the disappointment, because Liverpool are capable of scoring multiple goals quickly. So, they've got to because what they don't want to be is out of sight in the next 5 or 6 minutes. So stay in the game is what they need to do now.
So yellow card has been shown to Ender Stevens. This is a free kick on the right-hand side. It's going to be taken by Trent Alexander-Arnold. We know how good a delivery he can make, and it's in towards that near post. Firmino goes in for the header. It's a good block by Sander Berg, and it's a corner.
It's good defending. I don't think it's a great free kick, actually, because Firmino has got a hell of a lot to do, because he's 5 yards in advance of the near post. So he's got a lot to do to be able to put that in the net. I guess he's just trying to divert it, but it's a fantastic block.
Corner to be taken by Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's sent it in deep, and it's cleared away by the head of McBurney. Trent Alexander-Arnold lifts it back in again. Firmino with the flick. It'll come through to Jota. His attempted clearance is blocked by McBurney. Another Liverpool corner. And
what they're doing, Liverpool, really well is keeping the ball in and around the box. It's a little bit what Sheffield United were doing to them. They're not really being able to clear it that 20, 30 yards that allows them to squeeze up 10 yards out of their own box. They're camped in their own box, and here the ball could drop to anyone, a deflection, and the ball ends up in the net.
Corner's been taken short to Robertson. It's back to Alexander-Arnold. It's gone all the way back to Fabinho. Sends it long into the penalty area. Good header by Basham. Only as far as Henderson. Wijnaldum. Attempted cross blocked by McBurney. Jota winning the ball back, but his first touch takes it beyond everyone, including himself, and out for a goal kick.
He's been poor, Wijnaldum, I've got to say. His ball's been deflected, but then I'm not sure. He'd normally bring that down. Now he's got his back to the game. He'd normally bring that down and go and play. They could do with him out on the pitch, couldn't they?
Sir Kenny.
Yes, definitely.
What a player he was in his day.
He would have been a magnificent player today for them. Really intelligent.
Imagine he was the days of muddy pitches, and he was still
2 good feet, intelligent, brave, a leader. He'd be magnificent for them now.
Oh, not half. Jessica Brownsill has just tweeted at TalkSport Live. Thank you. Happy to listen whilst watching her twin sons play a soccer game in the overcast Orange, California. Well, if it's overcast there, it's wet, windy and miserable here in the UK. It seems to have receded a little bit, the rain. It was rather heavy just down the road for the earlier game.
It was terrible, yeah. Still cold, though.
But it always rains in Manchester, doesn't it? So I'm told. Yeah, every time I've gone there, it has. I concur.
Yeah, exactly right. It always rains.
It's a sloppy touch from Robertson. Liverpool are warming up their substitutes down below. They do have a slender lead, despite it's debatable whether they've actually hit second gear, but they've not really got going today, but they still lead.
But they're still in it, Sheffield United.
Yep. Burke certainly got a part to play with Sheffield United going forward in this game. Osborne, who's had a good game coming in that left-hand side of the midfield three. And Perdue run into Fabinho. And then Trent Alexander-Arnold with a good ball up towards Salah.
What a great touch that was.
Good touch from Salah, but quickly closed down by Egan. Salah again tucks it inside to Firmino. Firmino prods it to the left. It's Robertson. Inside to Wijnaldum. Wijnaldum turns back to the left-hand side again, and Robertson. Can he just keep the ball at the moment, Liverpool? Just over 20 minutes to go. Liverpool leading by 2-1. So, Fabinho to Trent Alexander-Arnold. It's all about the 3 points when you think Manchester United, Chelsea 0-0 today, so they've dropped points, and Manchester City drew today. So just any which way out to get 3 points today is a bonus for Liverpool. Here's Salah. To the left is Robertson. Chance to cross. He checks back and finds Salah. Side to Wijnaldum. It's all slowed down for Liverpool. Sheffield United have got men behind the ball as we enter the last 20 minutes at Anfield. Liverpool leading by 2-1. At TalkSport Live on Twitter. You're listening to Premier League Live. The final game of the day. Which, in the recent past, we've been talking about great games, great goals. Not been too many today. 1-1 between West Ham and Manchester City. Fulham losing 2-1 at home to Crystal Palace. They stay bottom. Manchester United Chelsea was goalless. Liverpool leading by 2-1 here.
And they're just trying to take the sting out of things and just keep possession and just, let Sheffield United chase for a little while. Not really going anywhere, they're just trying to.
They need to try and get some bodies off that treatment table, don't they, Liverpool? When you think this game.
What's going on there with Joe Gomez?
He's given the ball away cheaply. And Sheffield United with a chance to get forward. Berg, he's almost given it away to Salah. It's a good intervention by Ampadu. Pretty impressed with what I've seen of Ampadu.
He's a good player. He's a good player. They've not really, well, I don't know. I kind of like Sheffield United today. I feel sorry for them. They're up against a team with that much quality. But if they do lose this, I'd feel sorry for them. They're worth a draw, but because Liverpool haven't played well, but with the quality they have, you look at people like Ampadu, and if they lose, you feel sorry for him because I think he's been a good player for Sheffield United today.
They've had to come from behind Liverpool. They've had a couple of VAR decisions that have certainly not gone their way. And a couple of non-VAR decisions that have probably gone for them, I suppose we could say, with those penalty shouts in the first half. We can talk about those all night. Here's Robertson on the left-hand side for Liverpool. Just slows it down, goes back to Gomez. And Fabinho to Alisson. And Wijnaldum filling in at the right-back position. Sent long by Alisson. One in the air by Stevens. Here's Stevens again. Turns away from Jota. Ampadu just tucks it inside to Berg. In the centre circle for Sheffield United in those green shirts and goldy coloured shorts. To the left, it's Ben Osborne.
It's a decent ball.
It's a good ball in. Strong header from Gomez. Osborne again. Stevens.
Good passage of play for Sheffield United.
Yeah, they're still in it, 2-1 with what, 18 minutes to go. Still in it.
Commentators curse. They knock the ball off the pitch just as they say that.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's still in it. And, we've just got a GP has just tweeted us saying the bench was better than the starting 11. I don't know what the rest of the tweet was there. But, it can't surely be that Liverpool starting 11 is not as good as the bench, because the bench has got a lot of youngsters on it. I'm sure there's one or two very good players there, but there's not a lot of options for Jurgen Klopp. He's sticking with what he's got. Midtjylland come here on Tuesday in the Champions League. Here's Firmino. Into the penalty area he goes, up against George Baldock, pulls it back to Henderson, tries to thread it through to Mane, can't quite reach it, and Sheffield United can bring the ball away. Ampadu sends it to the right-hand side. And,
there's
Oliver
a chance
Burke.
if he sees him.
Oliver Burke spins it through towards McBurney, just couldn't quite take it in his stride. This is Lundstrom.
It's a shame, because when he cuts in there, if he sees Osborne early enough making a run down the left, inside left, I think he's clean through, but he's head down, isn't he, Oliver Burke?
Ball goes all the way back to Egan. Fat has been tweeting us. TalkSport Live. We'll come to that in a second, because Sheffield United on the attack. And here's Berg into the penalty area. It goes. Good block by Robertson, but it's turned back in again. It was a shot from the right-hand side. I think it was Basham that was up there. And
both centre halves, two of the three up there.
Yeah, certainly sending men forward. Egan's the only man back for Sheffield United at the moment. Lucky for him that the long ball forward came straight to him, and he's able to clear. Here's Baldock. Another ball into the box. He's not. He's just sent that one long, and it'll come through on this near side for Osborne. Back to the offside defender Stevens. And then Burke. Osborne again. Turns full circle. Finds Burke. Actually, it's Lundstrom, not Burke. I beg your pardon. Here's Osborne again. Lifts it in towards that penalty area. Strong header away by Gomez. 15 minutes to go. And, Liverpool still got work to do here.
Good passage of play for Sheffield United. You know, they're on top at the moment, and it looks like they're making a substitute. Is it McGoldrick coming on?
Yep. I was going to say, Fat has just tweeted us actually. I've been enjoying your live commentary from Lagos since noon today. You're great company at TalkSport Live. Thank you very much, Fat. It's very nice to hear from you, and good to hear that we've kept you entertained. We've had more entertaining match days in the Premier League this season, but hey, we're still here to entertain. It's still even the dull games are interesting sometimes, and this one has entertained us. VAR has certainly reared its ugly head amongst the headlines. It's a header away from Fabinho. It wasn't a very good header, and it was a first touch from McGoldrick. First time right-footed volley, and it was only just wide. Just wide. We're talking inches.
Yeah, and what he's done is caught the play up very well. Fabinho's headed it in the air. Not a great header. Takes a first touch, and it's always rising. And yeah, it's always rising. He's gone for the near post rather than the far post, which gives him more of the goal to aim at.
Think that Alisson has probably got it covered.
But it's a good, like I say, it's a good positive passage of play for Sheffield United.
A statement of intent there. Liverpool have got to be aware that this game hasn't been won yet.
I think they need to score again.
Yeah,
I really do.
Right.
I think Sheffield United will fashion some sort of chance before the end.
Here's Robertson for Liverpool. Firmino. The two combining again between them. Now Gomez put under pressure by McBurney. Squares it to Fabinho. Goes long with a clearance. It's an up in the air clearance. Not the type of service that Jota thrives on.
No. And no Liverpool player read the knockdown either. You know, he's going to lose that header, Jota, but you've got the ball. If you read the knockdown, you've got that coming towards you.
Yes. And then going up for the header was Fabinho against McBurney, but he's not given a free kick, the referee. Instead, Liverpool have the ball. Robertson over the halfway line in that left back position. Just cushions it inside to Wijnaldum. The centre circle. There's the Liverpool captain, Jordan Henderson. Goes to the left and Robertson. All the way back to Gomez. And then all the way back to Allison. Who strikes it with the outside of his right boot. You don't see that too often from a goalkeeper, do you? Bending it with the outside of his right boot to the fullback. It's nonchalant, wasn't it? Here's Basham. That's a good looking ball as well, up towards Burke. I think it hit him on the heels and nearly fell for McGoldrick. They still have the ball, Sheffield United. On this left hand side, it's Ben Osborne. McGoldrick again. Player that's come from the lower leagues. Got his criticism last season of not scoring too many goals. He's actually top scorer for Sheffield United this season with 2.
Yeah, well.
It's not a lot, but it's the most. Here's Basham. Again, he's trying to find his way forward. Basham again off of Bulldog's cross. Can't quite bring it under control. And striding in was Fabinho to take the ball off of him. Now Salah. And maybe Liverpool can strike here whilst the iron is hot.
It's a great ball.
It's a brilliant ball towards Jota. Jota's first touch just takes it away from him, and it's a good challenge on him.
That's just not good enough.
By Stevens, but it's not good enough. The first touch was a poor one.
He scored. I don't think he's been great today, Jota, but I suppose he's got the goal that could win the game for them.
Yeah, he could be a match winner, but it's not a match-winning performance. Here he is on the ball now. McGoldrick breathing down his neck. He does manage to keep possession for Liverpool. And Firmino to Ronaldo. It's not been vintage Liverpool by any stretch of the
No, you
imagination.
could honestly say which Liverpool player's really been anywhere near their best. I can't.
Struggling. I'm struggling to think of one. But, you know, the fact is they're 2-1 up.
Top teams win ugly.
Yeah, that's something that they would have learnt last season. Shadir Blessing has tweeted us at TalkSport Live. I'm enjoying you guys. Job well done. Thank you very much to Shadir for that. There's the ball at the feet of John Egan. He's got a bit of time and a bit of space up towards the halfway line. And Sander Berg, £22 million signing from Genk in January. Played in the Champions League twice last season against Liverpool for Genk. This is Ben Osborne into the penalty area. Real chance here for Sheffield United.
It's the pullback.
It needed quality, and it wasn't quality. And Henderson feeds the ball away. It needed to be better.
Well, it becomes about decisions. Now you're looking at decisions. What decisions you're going to make? What, you know, when you get into that area, when you're close to the goal, it's very difficult actually sometimes.
Henderson has carried the fight up to the halfway line almost single-handedly. Fed it to Ronaldo. Now Firmino steps over the ball and past McGoldrick. Clever play from him. Ronaldo again. Nice turn from Salah into the penalty area. It's Mo Salah. Oh, it's off the post and back into the arms of Ramsdale. A little wave of the magic wand from Mo Salah. But this time his finish comes back off the post rather than nestling in the net.
Well, it's a wonderful first touch and good, you know, sleight of feet. Just runs away from Egan. And then you're thinking he's just going to clip that over Ramsdale. He does, but unfortunately for him, and it seems like it's the way it's going for him. Can you believe it? It's the post.
Yeah. Well, he's had a goal ruled out for offside, rightly, just about, I think.
Yeah, I think it was right.
I can't remember. With so many VAR decisions, I've lost it with VAR.
Oh, I've lost the will to live with VAR. I've got to be honest.
You know what? If they took it away, we'd be bored. Bring it back. We've got nothing to talk about.
You speak for yourself. I'm all right without it.
Yeah, no, I think I am. I think most people are. And, here come Sheffield United again, and Paduk clips it forward with the outside of his right boot and finds Stevens. Steps past Firmino, fed forward by Osborne. It's played by Burke to cut inside, just at the edge of the penalty area. To Berg. He goes to the right-hand side. And George Bulldog back to Berg again. He's got Ampadu there, and Ampadu might just pull the trigger here. It was set up nicely for him, the man on loan from Chelsea. But the moment he left his boot, it was flying over the bar, wasn't it?
Yeah, so again, another good passage of play. Kept the ball well, fashioned an opening, and just got a bit excited, and over the bar it went.
And Liverpool just about to make their first change. Not too many options, realistically, for them. One of them is James Milner. As we just have a quick look at that goal. It could be the winning goal, actually, from Diogo Jota.
Yeah, it looks like it will be. And
he's going off.
I think it's just to give him a break. Minamino's coming to give him a break because they've got so many more games to play, haven't they?
They're probably going to need him.
Yeah.
You know, the Champions League is every week at the moment with the group stages as we play catch-up. And you need a big squad. You need your players to be fit. And, you know, you look through that Liverpool squad, and obviously you've lost Van Dijk. Naby Keita's injured at the moment. Oxlade-Chamberlain is another player missing from the fold. Divock Origi's been struggling with a knock, and Thiago. There's plenty of players keeping the physio team here, the medical team busy.
It's difficult for them. You know, they've got. You know, everyone says, "Oh, they've got a big squad." Until you get 2 or 3 injuries, you realise, no, you haven't. You need more.
Come Sheffield United again. They're not finished yet. They're still in this game. They'll be keen to give it a push, try and get something out of the game. But it's a foul by Basham. It's staggering, really, how many times at least one of those central defenders has gone motoring forward. Ampadu, Basham, Egan, we've seen earlier on in the game. They're not afraid to push one of them forward.
They trust each other, because what it does is overloads an area, and because they shouldn't be there, as a defender, you're kind of thinking, well, I haven't catered for you being here, so I'm not going to mark you and come out of the hole I'm supposed to be in.
It's a good header from John Egan. Solid as a rock at the back there, the captain today. Baldock knocks it against James Milner and out for a throw-in. Well, I've noticed that over on the far side, the right ankle of Jota has been strapped up with a bag of ice and some cling film.
Yeah, I mean, it's precautionary.
21st century technology.
Well, it's precautionary.
He did take that whack, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he was down for a while.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is, once you come off the pitch, you are now in recovery mode. So what they've got to do is make sure that you're preparing now for tomorrow. Because tomorrow will just be a recovery day where all the bumps and bruises will be looked after, and they have to start that the minute the game finishes. Can't just let everyone go about their business and do it in the morning. They have to start it now, and that's what they're doing.
Ampadu to Osborne to McGoldrick. Forward ball by Stevens is blocked by Alexander Arnold. Throw into Sheffield United. Stevens again. McGoldrick turning inside the penalty area. Can he carve an opening? It's back to Berg. Scored that penalty in the first half to give Sheffield United the lead. It's out wide to George Baldock. Hangs it up into the penalty area. Wasn't the best of balls and volleyed away by Mo Salah. It's returned back in again by Sheffield United. Here's Osborne. Nice flick on towards McGoldrick. McGoldrick with a ball across the face of the 6-yard box, and as Stevens went for a shot, McGoldrick kind of stepped on the ball for him.
And it's injured him.
Yeah.
It's hurt him because he's hit the side of the ball with his foot and just possibly twisted his ankle. Very strange thing for McGoldrick to do, I've got to say.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
Berger's taken a yellow card for the team there by fouling Minamino, who crept onto the field without us realising. So he's on for a slice of the action. He might get a prolonged spell in the side or in action in the coming weeks with these injuries. We'll get a chance to see him. Here's Mane, lovely little flick inside. Minamino can't really control it, the Japanese international. Here's Gomez playing as a winger at the moment. Salah just let it run away from him, but somehow he's still kept hold of it. Mo Salah. Shot is blocked by Egan. It comes out to Milner. Loose ball is Henderson's. And Robertson to Mane. Mane inside the penalty area. A little sidestep and then trying to cause problems down the left-hand side. He's crowded out 3-1. It's back to Robertson again. Drives forward to Mane. Mane try and curl one. Again, it's one of those. The moment he left his foot, you knew it was well off target.
And that's them today. That's the front three today. You know, Salah's had a couple of chances, but they just haven't really hit their straps. Again, it's the accuracy. When you know they're on it, the keeper's making the save, or it's going in. But at the moment, you know, they're high wide and not very handsome.
Liverpool's 15 attempts on goal to Sheffield United's 11. They're still in this game, Sheffield United. If it stays as it does, they'll remain on 1 point after 6 games, but they will take plenty of positives out of this. And they haven't given up yet. Here's Basham to McGoldrick on the right-hand
Crossing's
side.
not good enough. It's not been good enough from Sheffield. They've got into really good crossing positions and just haven't produced.
That's good play by the skipper, Jordan Henderson, driving forward down the left-hand side. Happy to just keep hold of it, kill a few more seconds. Good experience play by him. Now Milner to Trent Alexander-Arnold. Salah moving it quickly to Wijnaldum, who cuts inside onto his left foot. Wijnaldum's shot was blocked by Ampadu. McGoldrick for Sheffield United inside his own half here. He's being chased by Mane, and Mane's taken the ball off of him. Sadio Mane inside the penalty area. Still Mane. He's been driven back out. Referee Mike Dean looks at Mane's what should we call it? Trip to the ground.
You call it what you want. Dive.
It didn't look like a penalty.
No, it's nowhere near a foul. He's overrun the ball.
I was
That's
trying
the
to
thing.
be diplomatic and not call it a dive.
Never a foul.
No. Here's Salah. Minamino turns into trouble. Burnett. Sliced forward, but it stays in.
He's getting that, Burke, as well.
Yeah, Burke's gone.
He's strong and he's quick.
Well, he's gone past Fabinho. Can't get past Joe Gomez, who sweeps behind well. We've got a minute and a half plus injury time remaining here at Anfield. Liverpool winning by 2-1 in a game where they've had to come from behind.
Yeah. He looks like he's struggling, Jordan Henderson.
They don't need any more injuries,
exactly. They really don't need any more.
I imagine they'll probably bring one or two of the young group of players. They've got some really talented youngsters. We saw them in the FA Cup last season.
Oh, McBurney's come down and landed on his Achilles.
Yes,
that
is painful.
is painful. Especially as, sometimes it's coming there. He had no clue it was coming, so he was sort of loose, no protecting it. Oh, that's painful.
He's moving fairly free at the moment. Probably won't be in the morning. Oof. They can hurt, can't they?
But that's why they're going to, the players will be looked after tonight. They'll have to be looked after tonight because, you have to guard against it being sore tomorrow because games are coming thick and fast.
Well, Michelin here on Tuesday in the Champions League. West Ham here a week from today. And then they've got a trip to Atalanta. That won't be easy. And then a trip to Manchester City. It'll get a bit easier after the game against West Ham. Atalanta won't be easy.
It's incredible, just the sheer volume of games. It's just, for me, it's just too much. Yeah. It's too much. You're not going to get the quality you want, and it doesn't help.
Here's Minamino trying to find a way through to Mane. Nearly picks up the second ball. 3 minutes of added time, says today's fourth official, who is Andy Madley. We haven't mentioned the VAR officials. We should have done because they've been involved. Andre Mariner and Scott Ledger back at Stockley Park. You know who they are now.
Do I really want to know?
This Baldock, George Baldock, in injury time. Can Sheffield United come back? This season has been a funny old season, and today has been a day of top teams dropping points. So, who's to say that Sheffield United can't do so here? It's an attempted cross from Stevens. It's blocked out, and Allison can jump on the loose ball.
But you feel sorry for him because he's run 50 yards, Ender Stevens, from centre half, the underlapping centre half to get on the end of it, and you can't fault them for working hard, but that lack of quality, you can see the difference. Liverpool click and get it right, they create a chance. Sheffield United half chance, and they needed to take them when they mattered.
6 games now, 3 goals, 2 of them penalties to Sheffield United, but maybe a chance here. And it's Oliver Burke, and he's curled it over, and the expression on his face tells you that he knows that that's a good chance that's gone begging for Sheffield United.
And that's where they've been again. They win the first ball, and no one's near him. That's terrible.
When you look at it from the second angle on our monitor here, from the camera behind the goal at the cop end, at the far end, he's basically got the goalkeeper to beat. He's got to test the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper's got to be worked there.
Well, yes, Gomez sort of is in his way a little bit, but you've got to be. You had time to bring it down and turn. You've got to be doing better, and I think that will be what he rues Chris Wilder, that when they had the chances, that they just weren't, cold enough and calculated enough in front of goal.
Here's Wijnaldum down the right-hand side for Liverpool. He's happy to just take it into the corner, is he, or does he want to go further and get the cross in? McGoldrick gets the challenge in. Wijnaldum picks up the loose ball. Jordan Henderson keeps it moving. It's Jordan Henderson again. Scoops it forward up towards Minamino. It comes off of his right boot. It's red boot. And out for a throw into Sheffield United. And, well, they've got about 20 seconds left of the 3 minutes allocated at the end of the 90. McGoldrick's flick. Why they didn't just let that go out of play and take the throw in there. Alexander-Arnold decided to keep it in.
Bizarre.
And Alexander-Arnold, the long ball forward towards Mo Salah. Takes it down brilliantly. Mo Salah nearly found a way past John Egan, who was stretching and slipping. But Liverpool have all 3 points. There goes the final whistle. It's not been vintage Liverpool, but 3 points to Liverpool. Liverpool 2, Sheffield United 1. Here are the highlights. Burney, Brewster. Tennis between the two front men for Sheffield United. It's a poor clearance by Fabinho, and the shot comes in from Lundstrom. But the referee's going to call that a penalty, I think, because of the foul by Fabinho. I mean, it was rash on Ollie McBurney. They're having a check on this one for a penalty. I think we've agreed it's just slightly outside, isn't it? Mind you, we never know with VAR.
No, you have no clue, and that's the worrying thing. It's just outside. It looks like it's just on the line. That looks outside.
I think he's given a penalty, isn't he?
I think he has given a penalty.
Well,
what do we know?
VAR.
I'm going to have to rub my eyes.
Ever ceases to amaze us. Sander Berg is the player that's going to take this spot kick. Complete silence at Anfield. Sheffield United penalty, and he sent a goalkeeper Alisson the wrong way, and Sheffield United lead in the opening 12 minutes. A controversial decision made by VAR, a penalty given when it looked like a free kick outside the box. Oh, but it's a great ball in.
Oh, it's a
with
great
a header,
step. Outside,
and
that counts. Goal.
Firmino with the equaliser. And it's certainly not a goal that Liverpool deserve. 5 minutes from half-time, a great ball into the box on the right-hand side. The header for Mane, saved brilliantly by Ramsdale, and the follow-up for Firmino, who doesn't score too many goals at Anfield. Well, he's scored now, and Liverpool back on level terms. They do not deserve this goal. Not at all. Liverpool and Henderson. Now Robertson, left-hand side to Mane. Mane will take on George Baldock. Can he get the cross in? He can. It's a great ball in, and this time Liverpool do score, and it's Jota, but a lovely little header into the corner, and Liverpool do lead, and I don't think VAR are going to intervene on this one.
It's not being marked, and really he's just got to guide it. The pace is on the ball. He's still got a bit to do, but he's done it really well.
So there you have it. Liverpool 2, Sheffield United 1. Paul Mortimer, all the talking points surrounding a couple of gentlemen living in a broom cupboard somewhere down in West London, Stockley Park, VAR. And it didn't really cover itself in glory again tonight, did it, VAR? Let's go through the various topics of VAR. I mean, the big one was the penalty for Sheffield United that gave them the lead. From a neutral point of view, it's exactly what the game wanted. But there's a foul that happens quite clearly outside the penalty area, and yet a penalty is given because probably about 20% of the attacker's boot is on the line. And we're still scratching our heads as to the rules of the game at the moment.
Well, even if he lands on the line or even in the box, where's the actual collision taking place? And for me, it looked like it was just outside the box, marginally, but just outside. Every angle I saw, it looked like it was outside of the box, and you know, it was. It's been given, so you know we have to deal with that and accept it. But it's a strange decision.
We don't know the clarification. We'd love to know the clarification. The annoying thing is the ball then strikes the hand of Andrew Robertson from the cross from George Baldock. We get clarification from the Premier League as to why that wasn't given and why that was looked at. That's fine. Then can they tell us why the previous one was a penalty? Because we're still scratching our heads. So the inconsistencies are there. And then we saw a foul on Berg, and you had a shout for a penalty. I thought it was a penalty as well. That didn't even get looked at, did it?
Well, I think it's a foul. Simply put, I think it's a foul. I think he gets clipped. And he goes down. It's not a dive. I think he actually gets clipped. I think it's a foul. And it's not even looked at. So there's huge inconsistencies, and that's what baffles players and managers. I've got to say, that's what baffles you is, next week, that same thing won't be given as a penalty against Fabinho. And the week after, well, who knows? And that's the problem.
Salah scores. He's ruled offside. Probably the right decision. But Liverpool showed great character. Don't feel sorry for yourself. You had a VAR decision against you at one end, and then they go and score the winner. Just quickly wrapping up there, it was Diogo Jota with the finish with a header. Poor game from him today, but he comes up with the goods with the winner. And the final score here, Liverpool 2, Sheffield United 1. Paul, thank you very much for your company this evening. Liverpool take 3 points. It's been messy, it's been scrappy, and you have been listening to Premier League Live.
Get ready and hold on tight, because the Premier League is here! Which teams will stay on track, and who'll go off the rail? Get the Irish Sun for top transfer news, exclusive star interviews and opinions from the biggest names in football. Plus expert analysis of every action-packed match in our fantastic goals pull-out each weekend. Stay up to speed, because you never know what the Premier League is going to throw up. Pick up the Irish Sun today.
I was never good at spelling. I could read just fine, but I would be afraid if anybody asked me to do anything involving spelling. But since doing the course, all that has changed. I am braver. In fact, I feel braver than ever now. You know, you're never too old to learn. Never.
If reading, writing, maths or technology is holding you back, take the first step. Free phone 1-800-2020-65 or text LEARN